Hey, greetings everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Plan B Success. Every person that you know, including yourself, has strengths and weaknesses. We all do. Strengths are things that we're really good at, and without really exerting a whole lot of ourselves, we can get spectacular results. And weaknesses are things that we're not good at. And no matter how hard we try and stretch, we probably get mediocre results. But one of the ingrained aspects of self-development strategies that I have noticed to have thrived over a vast period of time, several years now, several hundreds of years I should say, is that there's a lot of emphasis laid on the fact that one needs to recognize their weaknesses and spend an innate amount of time and effort working on them to improve. You're always told, make sure you work on your weaknesses. Make sure you spend time on them. Make sure that you work hard so that you get better at them. Well, no matter how hard you try, getting better is one thing, but can a weakness be turned into a strength? That's the question. And if at all it can be, how much effort does it require? How much time does it require? And what kind of disciplined approach does it require of a person to turn their weakness to a strength? And is it really worth the effort? Although I do agree that a very important aspect of self-improvement is the need to recognize your strengths and weaknesses, I, for one, do not believe that a telescopic review of your weaknesses and inordinate amounts of time and effort spent focusing on them results in any market shifts to strengths. So basically, no matter how hard you work on your weaknesses, they're not going to turn into your strengths. There's a certain natural ability in every person where they have certain strengths and certain weaknesses. Yes, you can focus on a weakness and get it to a certain level, maybe a little bit above being mediocre, but you won't get it to be at a point where it's stellar. It's key that you need to truly recognize and understand and come to terms with your strengths as well as limitations. It's also important to have a plan in place to stabilize your limitations or weaknesses. You have to provide stability to your weaknesses. You got to get to a point where you can live with them. You don't have to spend inordinate amounts of time and effort to turn them into strengths because you already have certain strengths, and if you spend the same amount of time on your strengths, you will be remarkable in those particular strengths. Even to reach remarkable effectiveness in those strengths, all you need is a little bit of exertion, little bit of more focused work on them. But to be at your productive best and to benefit from what you do, you need to focus on your strengths than your weaknesses. The effort spent on trying to overcome a weakness is better spent on honing your strengths and realizing their potential, because their potential is manifold. It has a multiple effect of benefits for you. You're bound to come out better, stronger, and deservedly rewarded if you apply this strategy of focusing on your strengths. I'm not saying don't focus on your weaknesses. Do focus on them to get them to be stable, so that they do not hinder your focus on your strengths. Not everyone in this world needs to be good at everything. It's perfectly all right to embrace your limitations while you exert your strengths. There is no need to feel guilty or feel belittled for things that you do not share an interest in or that do not reflect your best self. But each one of us has some aspect that we enjoy, are good at, and can create a distinguished place for ourselves. Concentrate on exerting yourself in these areas that you enjoy working in, and that you can contribute your best into. Your strengths will distinguish you. Work on further excelling at them and exercising them to your very best. Not only will you enjoy what you did and be at your productive best, but you will also cherish and pride yourself in the rewards it will reap for you. This in turn motivates you further to go beyond your best in what you're already excellent in what you already excel in. Imagine the infinite potential you have available to unravel with your strengths when you focus on them. Work your strengths to discover your infinite potential while you recognize your limitations and stabilize them enough to not influence your pathway of progress. Now, here's to your success. Go work on those strengths and make things happen for you, for who you are, for who you can be, for who you aspire to be. It's all achievable by focusing on those core strengths that are innate to you, that make you special. Hey, I hope you liked that episode. Do check out my website, rajivmudumba.com. And by the way, do check out Top Podcast Mastery Program that's out there on the website. And if you're interested in podcasting, if you're interested in creating a brand image for who you are and what you have to offer, definitely check that course out. I'm sure it's going to provide you immense value, and it'll cut short your journey of researching podcasts by the weeks into a couple of hours to get started and moving on. Thank you very much.